Hello and welcome to my long-awaited review of the Sector Mechanicus Tectonic Fragdrill. I mean, it's advertised as part of Genestealer Cults, but it is a tectonic frag drill. It will cost you £35. It's quite expensive, especially as it is made in China. All of their scenery is made in China. It says designed in the UK, manufactured in China. There is some detail on it, but you can definitely tell there's less detail than, you know, if you were to just get like a box of miniatures or something that is made in the UK. It's a different type of plastic, their scenery. It's a darker plastic, doesn't have as much option for having a lot of detail on it, whereas the lighter plastic for the actual miniatures, that's I want to say softer plastic, and you can put much more detail on those models. Anyway, it's quite expensive, £35. It comes in a big box, quite a few sprues. It does take ages to build, mainly because of the mould lines. Typically with scenery from Games Workshop, it's not how difficult it is to build, it's quite straightforward to build. It's just the mould lines that are on there take ages to clear up, and they're ever present. I guess because it's just a quicker manufacturing process, and the plastic just isn't as good a quality. Anyway, apologies that this review has taken like months and months and months. This ends my Genestealer Cult new release review videos, and I will be reviewing every other of the new releases at least. So I will be reviewing all of the standard models now that weren't part of that new release. I think I reviewed the Abominant, so I'll be reviewing the Aberrants at some point too. So stay tuned for the channel. I want to concentrate more on Orcs, but I also want to finish these Genestealer Cult reviews. So stay tuned to the channel and you'll get a review of all of the Genestealer Cults from this new 8th edition codex. So stay tuned to the channel for those. I will of course be showing you some spare parts, there's only a couple, and a load of size comparisons as well. And then finally go through all of the rules. So first things first, let's have a look at the detail and features of the model. Unfortunately the drill doesn't move up and down. It's got these cogs that kind of think that you would be able to move it up and down, but you can't. I guess if you're good at modelling and things, you could find a way to have that work, maybe even glue it to some Lego Technic or something and paint that a different colour or spray it a different colour and have it as a moving drill. You know, you could have it rise all the way up to here and then all the way, you know, to, I say bedrock, you know, to the surface if you really wanted to. It goes together quite well. You've got two levels here. You know, you don't have to glue these ladders, but I have. You've got this first floor and then this top floor. I mean, the drill can, in the rules, activate, and you can have seismic tremors and seismic quakes, and also you can use underground ingress, you know, where if infantry or biker units with the cult ambush ability, they can move off the battlefield if they move within 1 inch of the model. And then at the end of the movement phase, you can place that unit anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 9 inches away from enemy models. It's never really sort of, it doesn't show on the model as such how they get in or anything like that. I mean, there's a big gap there on the first floor to the drill bit. Maybe they get up on top of here and then they leap onto there and then that opens, but to me it doesn't really see that, you know, that they can actually get into this. I don't think it's a vehicle for transport. I think it is just a drill, and what happens is the drill goes underground and then obviously makes a hole or tunnel or whatever to another area on the battlefield, pops out, and then all the Genestealers and troops and bikers then, you know, use that tunnel network to pop up there. I don't think this is an actual transport piece, unlike you know, the Mole that Forge World released, or the Terax, I've forgotten its name, the other smaller drill. You've got a couple of extra bits, like a fire extinguisher and a hammer and a toolkit. You've got some gantry pieces, but and then you've got the drill section itself, which is quite decent. Probably would be better to have part assembly with this and glue this after you've sprayed it and painted it, so you can get into all the nooks and crannies. But I've just done it obviously because I review the model, so I want them to be kind of built and show you them in their full sort of glory. Quite a large model, as we'll find out. Yes, it's £35, but with third-party discount you could get it for like 26, 27 or something like that, and it's most likely worth it for that. Let's draw some size comparisons then. So I've got a Nexus model here, you know, the guy with the strategic coordinator type thing. He could be up there relaying orders. Got the Abominant there. So you can fit a fair few troops and things on both the levels if you really wanted. I've got an Achilles Ridge Runner right here just to show you sort of the size comparison between one of those. I've actually got a Rock Grinder as well. Yeah, way over here. Apologies about this, but yeah. So hopefully that helps as well. Get the size in how big this drill is. It is a huge scenery piece really. And I've got a Patriarch as well. Just leaping off the top there, you know, which is quite a big model really, come to think of it. So there you go, there's some size comparisons. Obviously similar sort of size comparisons if I just showed you some Space Marines at the bottom there. So there's a normal Space Marine, and there's Primaris, put them on the top. So there you go. Hope those size comparisons have helped. You know, it is a large scenery piece, you know, just mainly because of the height, and it's going to take you quite a couple of hours to get rid of the mould lines and things, but it's a great centerpiece on a battlefield just because of its height really. Okay, I've kind of done it in a different order. I usually do the spare parts before the size comparisons, but these are the spare parts. These are just clips that go underneath to give it a bit more support between the two flat pieces of plastic. You could put these on as well, but I've used 4 already, so you get 6. And then this thing, I don't even know what this is from. It might even be from a different model, but this was near it. I can't see a place to fit it on. Maybe it goes on there. It's not in the instructions, and I've had a really good look at the instructions, so I don't know where that is from. Maybe it's something to do with the ladders. You could clip that on there and put a ladder anywhere on the building maybe, but yeah, if you know what that piece is for, please do put it in the comments below. That'd be great help to us all. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules. You do get the rules on a datasheet that comes with the model, but they're also in the 8th edition Genestealer Cults Codex under fortifications. There's only one fortification. Games Workshop have gone through a phase of creating a fortification for every kind of new release or every new re-release, however you want to call it. They did it with Orcs, they've done it with Imperial Knights, they did it with Eldari, with Craftworlds. And I think that's a good thing. I hope they do it with Sisters. It'd be nice to have some kind of like church thing. It'd be cool, that's all I'm saying. Or some kind of monument or statue. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I hope they do that. Okay, so the Tectonic Fragdrill, it's a power points cost of 4 and it's a points cost of 75. So quite cheap really for what it does. It is a single model. Abilities, Sector Mechanicus structure. After it is set up, a Tectonic Fragdrill is treated as a Sector Mechanicus terrain feature. It cannot move for any reason, is not treated as a friendly or enemy model, and cannot be targeted or affected by any attacks or abilities. So that's pretty good. So you're paying 75 points or 4 power points, and the beauty about it is it can't be destroyed. There's a few structures and things, fortifications that can be destroyed. I think probably one of the reasons why it can't be is it doesn't have any weapons or an armor value or anything like that. I mean, yeah, clearly it could be destroyed with blast charges or, you know, a few rounds from a Lehman Russ or something like that. But, you know, for rules purposes, for the datasheet, it can't be destroyed. Only infantry, beasts, swarms and units that can fly can be set up or end their move on the upper floors of a Sector Mechanicus structure. Any unit can do so on the ground floor. Unless they can fly, infantry, beasts and swarms must scale ladders, girders or walls to ascend or descend between the different levels of a Sector Mechanicus structure. Infantry are also assumed to be able to traverse around girders, buttresses and hanging chains, and so move through them without impediment. Infantry units that are entirely on a Sector Mechanicus structure receive the benefit of cover. Other units that are entirely on or within a Sector Mechanicus structure only receive the benefit of cover if at least 50% of every model is obscured from the point of view of the shooting model. That's pretty self-explanatory. Got to have at least 50% of every model. Underground Ingress, this is one of the key abilities. So once per turn in their movement phase, one infantry or biker unit with the Cult Ambush ability can move off the battlefield if all of its models are on ground level and can move within 1 inch of this model. A unit cannot do so in the same phase it arrived as reinforcements. If a unit does this, remove the selected unit from the battlefield. At the end of your next movement phase, set up that unit anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches from any enemy models. If the battle ends before this unit is set up back up, it is destroyed. That's fair enough. That's one of the main reasons why you're getting this, is it's kind of like a teleporter. You know, you move the models within 1 inch of it, and then they can just teleport around the battlefield. You can use it as a weapon though. Activate the drill. If a model from your army is on a Tectonic Fragdrill at the end of your movement phase and there are no enemy models on it, you can activate the drill. If you do, first roll a d6 for every unit on ground level that is within 3 inches of the tip of this model's large drill. On a 6, that unit immediately suffers d6 mortal wounds. Then roll a d6, adding 1 to the result for each other time the drill on this model has been activated during the battle. If the total is less than 6, the seismic tremors result below takes effect. On a 6 plus, the seismic tremors and seismic quake results below take effect. The seismic quake result can only take effect once per battle, regardless of how many Tectonic Fragdrills are on the battlefield. So there you go, that's quite explanatory. So you get 6 plus, you get the tremors and the quake, but you only get the quake once per battle. So the tremors, until the start of your next movement phase, subtract 2 from charge rolls made for units whilst they are within 12 inches of this model. This does not apply to units that can fly, and the effects of multiple seismic tremors are not cumulative. Seismic quake, draw a straight imaginary line 1 millimeter in thickness for any point of one battlefield edge to any point of another battlefield edge in such a way that it crosses this model. Roll a d6 for every unit this line crosses that is on ground level. Do not roll for units that can fly, and on a 4 plus, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds and its movement characteristic is halved until the end of its next movement phase. That's pretty horrific. Not only are you getting d6 for every unit, you get a 50-50 chance of having up to 3 mortal wounds, and its move is halved. That can definitely affect the battle, and it's well worth the 75 points just for that. But remember, you're going to have to get a 6 plus to get that. But obviously, it's going to get easier and easier the more you activate the drill. It's, you know, you keep activating it, it's going to be easier to get that 6s. Keywords: Genestealer Cult, Sector Mechanicus and Tectonic Fragdrill. So there you go, some nice little rules. Even if you're using it as underground ingress to get around the battlefield, that's pretty cool. It's great that it's you know, invulnerable. You can't really destroy it, and it's good that it has some weapon capability in terms of the tremors and the quake. Personally, I just like Xenos scenery. I say it's Xenos scenery, it is Sector Mechanicus scenery, what I'm talking about, but you get what I mean. I like scenery. The more scenery the better, especially when it comes to like the Xenos, because there just isn't an awful lot out there, and I'd love to see more in the wild. Anyway, what do you guys think of the model and the rules? Would you get one? Do you always bring one with your Genestealer Cult army? They're quite useful, I think. Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norn Queen.